Welcome back to the shop. It's good to see you. I've had a big issue with storage. You know, I think I've watched hundreds of YouTubers over the years who've all, when they build their workshop, all have the same problem. There's never enough storage. It's a big issue. So here's my solution for my storage problem. So here we are by the mill, and because we're doing some work on the house, hopefully at some point, if honestly planning in this country works at the speed of glacial movement, it's incredible. Anyway, I brought down my 3D printer. I'm going to have to bring down my my current edit PC. I'm replacing that with a new one anyway, so that would be good to bring that down here. But storage is such an issue. I've got a couple of these racks left. We bought these when we had a small business, and I had loads of them, and they came with boxes, and I've kept all the boxes because they're useful, but the racks I couldn't really see that I needed that many, so I gave them to a friend who's got a garage, and he needed them for storage. So they've gone, and I think this is the only one like this I've got left, and it's just not enough storage. Right, at the other end of the workshop, you've seen this in many previous episodes, my mitre saw. It needed a dust hood, so I've made a dust hood for it. I always intended to build some shelving here as well. And I reckon that's come out pretty well. There's room for, I think, 18 boxes in here. I couldn't quite get enough room for the 19th one, but that's okay, because it's always good to have plasters and stuff available, because I often cut myself, not on purpose obviously. So here we go, that's it. I also needed storage for my Makita power tools, and I'll drop in a shot of just how badly I kept those, so I've changed that as well. So here we are, this is my solution for power tools. They all fit in these shelves. In this cupboard on the side here are consumables, circular saw blades, screwdriver bits, etc. What I will have to do is move my airline, because that's just in the way. So I'll have to move that at some point in the future. But generally, I'm really chuffed with this. I think this is really quite a nice solution. I know a lot of people will put slides in so that they can hang their drills up. The only trouble with that is I'm not sure that this is going to be the final lineup of my tools. I think over the years you change. You know, something will break and you'll replace it with something new that may be a different shape. So I'm not going to go down that route. Just have shelves. So having said all that, let's get into the build. If you were wondering what this is, it's a press for people who make books and lino cut type stuff. We used to make these. This one is the very last one, and it's going to a friend of mine. So I've got to waiting for her to come and pick it up. So let me explain. I have lots of boxes. As you can see from here, there's a stack of them over there as well, and they all need to be stored. So I need to make more space, more shelving to store them. This wall here, I wanted to put storage in. That's why I've left this gap, so that there's space to put some shelving in. And also just here, I want to put an open cupboard for my power tools. I'll show you those. This is no way to look after your power tools. And finally, at this end of the bench, we have my saw, and this needs there's a big dust extraction hole at the bottom there that if you follow the channel you'll know there's a duct that goes round and into the dust extractor, and it also comes round and pops out of the desk in the middle here, which is yet to be finished. However, it needs a hood. It needs a hood to collect the dust. When you run this thing, it puts dust absolutely everywhere. So I need a hood. Not just that, the hood has to cope with the fact that this thing can move, and if I can get this right, wrong way. There we go. And it can tilt in both directions. It will tilt the other way too. So this hood needs to be big enough to make sure that it catches most of that dust. That's the first task, I think. Oh. I've cut out a couple of scrap boards to mark the end positions and worked out how far they need to be. So if the saw is fully canted over this way and fully pushed back, that's the extent there. And if I go the other way, all the way around to there. Yeah, I'm fully in. I have to take this fence off, which is a bit of a pain, so I'll leave that for the time being, but that's close enough. If I leave myself another centimetre, if I cut the panels out for this, then I can start working out how much of the front I can cover in. Forgot to do this. There's one last test to do. I don't know if this will support this without falling out. There we go. Okay, we have plenty of clearance under there. In fact, I could come down slightly, but I won't. Okay. Right, I've had a change of heart. If I make this panel, the front panel, removable and use these M6 threaded inserts, then it's easy. Excuse me, it's easy to remove it. Should you want to do any of the angled cuts, with double mitres. However, most of the cuts that you do, or that I seem to do, are exactly right angle, or 45 degrees this way, or 45 degrees the other way. So, with that in mind, I can just have a front panel with this section cut out and a tiny little bit nibbled away there for the handle, and that will do the job. So off camera I'll cut another panel. That's 400. So here are my thoughts. If I put a vertical panel here, turn this into a box, then you know, a vertical and a panel like that, I can get 3 boxes, another layer will be 6 boxes, and then these can sit on the desk, and a shelf or 2 for other power tools on top, and Bob's your uncle, or in England, Bob's your auntie. is a good. Yes, Alexa?
Hey boy, you have been working hard on this project. Sit down, have a cup of tea.
That's better. Don't mind if the back edge is not absolutely spot on, but the front edge must be, because it's the bit you see. Can't go wrong with a persuader. Right, at this end, this clearly is the cupboard for the tools. Oops. However, that doesn't really leave enough space for the consumables like discs. Ooh. So I think I'm going to put another cabinet on the outside here. I've done some quick measurements, and the largest piece of wood that I can get under my saw comes to where that line is. You probably can't see that very well, but if you measure from the top of this cabinet down to there, that's 108 centimetres, 1080 mil. So I thought if I make my cabinet 1000 tall, 1 metre, then I'm definitely clear of the biggest piece of wood that I can get on here to cut. So that then dictates the height. The width, if I make it the same as this cabinet here, that's 330. And then I was thinking of the depth. I don't need a huge amount of depth, so if I go just to 200, then effectively we have a cabinet that comes out to about there. So there's just enough space to put 4 or 5 shelves in it, and that should give me all the space I need for the consumables. So let's knock that up. There we go, that's that ready. Excellent. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. Please hit the like, subscribe and share the video. You never know, somebody might actually gain something from how I've put this together. The mitre saw here works an absolute treat. I came to the conclusion in the end that I could make a really complicated cutout that would allow this saw to travel into its dust hood without touching any of the surround. But the hole would have to be so big, you wonder what's the point of putting a panel on the front. So I think this is, for me, the best solution. It'll do 45 degrees this way, and it'll do 45 degrees this way, and it won't, with a vertical cut, and it won't touch these panels. However, these panels come off. I think I've got some varnish in the hole for this one because it's a bit stiff. There we go. Now with them off, I can do the full range of cuts with compound mitres in both directions. Oops. Oh. So there we go, 60-degree compound, 45-degree cut. So I think that's probably, in all honesty, for me, the best solution for this dust hood. There we go. The dust goes down the chute at the back, pops out of a hole, a pipe at the bottom there, which I'll show you, and into Dusty the dust collector. There we go. As you saw when I did the little joss stick test with the smoke, this is quite effective, this duct. It does take a lot of the dust away. However, you still get a load of stuff that piles up, but it's easy to clean, you know. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with this. I think it's gone really well.